Welcome everybody to the Hawthorn Room 6th year ceremony. Thank you for coming and to celebrate the students.
When this time comes for the 6th grade, we want to say good luck and best wishes to all of you. And that is from all of us, from Jenny who greets you in the morning, to Linda who says goodbye at the end of the day. Everyone in the office, Pat and Rose and Nicole and Crystal, who you all know, who makes it possible for you to have service projects, sometimes going out. To Dan and Brittany, thank you for helping us make a green school. From Albert and Jennifer, I'm sure they've enjoyed all of the culinary concoctions that you've come up with over the last few years in the kitchen. Also, Ryan, who has often been the person that helped you figure out all of those technology problems that you created. We really want to say that it is a joy for us to provide you with what you need to have a great experience at Childpeace. Happy teachers, a beautiful building. We do our best to keep making it the best we can be for you. And now to watch you finish the year in Upper L, wherever you're going, all of us wish you the very, very best. And I sent some special messages in your book, but with that said, enjoy your moving up ceremony.
I'm going to go ahead and get started with a few words about the Hawthorn community. Over the course of these last 3 years, I've witnessed tremendous growth, maturity, and leadership from this group that sits before you today. I'm proud to have the privilege to work with them and witness them grow into confident, self-assured community members. These are incredible individuals who made tremendous contributions to our Upper L community, and they will be sorely missed. We are thankful for Emmeline's vitality and strength. She is an enthusiastic Hawthornian, and we can always count on her to get behind a project and support our group. We are thankful for Jonah's sense of humor and playfulness. We appreciate his determination to find a worthwhile service project, persevere through the process, and offer opportunities for younger students to volunteer and help others outside of our community. We appreciate Zuka always striving to create beautiful work and help others in our group. We appreciate her caring nature, and we could always count on her to creatively produce a class news during Spirit Day. We are thankful for Ben's perseverance, kindness, and partnership. Those skills have served him well. We are better informed about our community due to Ben's collection of copious amounts of data via multiple surveys and pie charts. Thank you to Mead for cooperation and compassionate care of our classroom. Your support of fellow classmates does not go unnoticed. Thank you for sharing your research and projects with our group on a regular basis. Thank you to Bishop for your imagination and energy. We appreciate the time you took with our animal committee. Thank you for this, and S'mores the hamster thanks you too. Thank you also for a variety of dance moves you've shared with us over 3 years. We are thankful for Sabine's earnest, gracious, and thoughtful nature. She's a methodical journal writer who takes great care writing about daily events. Because of her stellar language skills, she's a sought-after editor and collaborator. For Oliver and his innovation, problem-solving skills, and for being such a hard worker. We admire his ability and willingness to help and follow through on big projects and activities. Namely, this year, organization of the talent show, and also pinch hitting with AV for the Timeline of Life play. And lastly, we're thankful to Claudia, who could not be here today because she's at a soccer tournament, a championship in California. We'd like to thank her for her leadership that she offered, and being a team player and always being a mentor to our group. And some final words to you. These are just words to go on and continue reading over the summer. This quote comes from Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, just to kick off the summer reading. Her thoughts are, reading is the key that opens doors to many good things in life. Reading shapes my dreams, and more reading helped me to help my dreams come true. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ben, and I'm a 6th grader in the Hawthorn room. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about my experience here at Childpeace and my journey in school in general. When I started school, it was in my basement along with some of my friends. Their names were Mason, Owen, and Jonah. We were 2 and 3 at that time. I thought it was cool being taught in my basement by teachers. We were learning simple things like basic spelling. When I was 4 years old, I joined Portland Montessori. I was nervous, but I ended up having a lot of fun. On the first day of kindergarten, I met a very nice kid named Archer. We worked together learning addition. When I moved up to 1st grade, it was different, and I kind of felt lost at the beginning. But by the middle of the year, I got used to the change, and I remembered that my favorite thing to do there was long division. Well, if you don't count recess. In 3rd grade, I moved up to the upper classroom because there was not enough people in the class. In 4th grade, my friend and I did a huge research on submarines. After we finished the research, we went to OMSI to see the submarines that is part of the museum. A couple of days later, we made a board game about submarines. I enjoyed doing that research and learning so much in the process. In 5th grade, I joined Childpeace. Even though it's a Montessori school, it was still a big change. In 5th grade, I met a lot of nice people. I felt more challenged to learn more information. Later on in the year, I became more interested and more focused on my work. In 6th grade, I started to feel more responsible. We went to Costa Rica and it was a great experience. We went to La Paz Waterfall Garden and we were able to hold butterflies, hike in the jungle, and we had an all-you-can-eat buffet, which was really good. We also taught lessons to the kids in the Humanitarian Foundation, which is a Montessori school in Costa Rica. I was able to help my group a great deal with our lessons and translating some information for one of the teachers. Thank you to my parents, teachers, and friends for making my experience here at Childpeace possible. Thanks for listening.
Hi, my name is Jonah, and I'm going to tell you about my time as a student at Childpeace Montessori School. I hope you enjoy my speech. When I was in Children's House, I went to the terrace. I don't remember much about it, but I do remember loving to do some of the math boards with a friend named Dylan. We were really proud of how far we could get. I was really excited when I got the chance to do some of the other math materials, but I never was really into them as much as the math boards. I also remember liking to sweep the floors, clean up, and do other things like that. One of the things I did not enjoy much as some of the other children was baking bread and other things that had to do with cooking. I'm still not a huge fan of cooking. That said, I enjoy making snacks. I've recently taken part in some semi-successful baking projects for Spanish. I also like planning the snack menus. The first day in Lower L, I was really nervous because I was going to a new building that I had only visited one time. In Lower L, I remember finding it challenging to update my journal. So when I broke my arm, I asked my guide if Ryler could do it for me. When I was in Lower L, I worked individually a lot. When I didn't, I worked with my friends at the time. I also like to do a lot of research in history, so I did that with Ben, Bishop, and Finn. In 4th grade, writing was still not my thing, but I found motivation to work on this by researching historical subjects. I was into history and wars, and I loved doing researches on those subjects. In the middle of the year, I built a bridge with Aiden. We load tested it, and it held 53 pounds, a record at the time. 6th grade was more challenging than all of the other grades because I had so much on my plate. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, but it was not easy. For some reason, I was not looking forward to Costa Rica as much as some of the other kids. This may have been because of my last experience trying to learn Spanish in a different country. However, when I got to Costa Rica, it turned out to be a lot more fun. Ziplining was the best part, obviously, but my second favorite thing was teaching the kids at the Humanitarian Foundation in La Carpia. The Montessori materials that I worked with in children's house. I decided to do sandpaper letters with Ben, Bishop, and Oliver. After a lot of hard work, we had a great presentation. The kids there were awesome. For my service project, I chose the Clay Street table. This was a great experience. All of the times I went was really exciting and it helped me a lot. It was an awesome experience with volunteering and I learned a lot in the process. I'd like to thank my family and all of my teachers along the way for helping me get the best experience possible. Thank you for listening to my speech with my time in Montessori.
Hello, my name is Jacob. I'm 16 in Hawthorn. This is my speech. My elementary journey in school started in November here at Childpeace. In first grade, the third graders were so old, but when I got to third grade, I guess I was still very young. One thing I remember from lower out was when I got in trouble for running around screaming. I thought I was just like gag. In lower out, Mead and I worked a lot together. Some of my favorite works were the grammar boxes and tune bars. Leading up to fourth grade, I was still working on my reading skills. During lower L, I had tutoring and it helped me be a more confident reader and I started to love to read. This year I joined the Giver Lit group and read all 4 books in the series. And I enjoyed reading the group and discussing with the book. I've also found math and spelling challenging. Even in 6th grade, I was challenged by it, but I made progress. Leading up to upper L, I really wanted to be in Hawthorn because I really looked up to Lola and Maines as my mentors. One was one of the first kids I knew before going into the school. And one of my most memorable times in 5th grade was when I cracked an egg over my head, thinking that it was hard boiled, but it turned out to be raw. It got all over the table and me. In 6th grade, I went to Costa Rica, and it was one of the most fun things I've ever done. We went ziplining and also took a boat to see crocodiles. And one of the first crocodiles we saw was an tornado. We also went to La Carpia, which is where the Humanitarian Foundation is. At the Humanitarian Foundation, we taught students in Spanish how to do Montessori lessons at Childpeace. In 6th grade, my service project was on Wheels on Wheels, and I was a delivery person. I would drive around my neighborhood with my mom or my dad, and I would go to Series homes to get for food. I think this was one of the best experiences I've ever had, and I really thank you all for helping people that are in need. I would recommend. I would also love to thank my mom and my dad for driving me around. I also thank Teacher Stephanie for letting me skip school to volunteer there. It helped me for the past 3 years, but it helped me when I needed it and showed me how to be a successful student. Also, I thank Teacher Daniel for being working with me. Thank you so much for the support. Listening to my speech, I hope you enjoy that.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sabine Mercer, and this is my graduation speech. I've been at Childpeace for a very long time now, and it's truly been such an incredibly special experience. My Childpeace journey began back in kindergarten. For my first 2 years of school, I had attended a different Montessori school called Puddletown Montessori. One of the memories I have from there was when I got to bind my own notebook. I was so proud of it, and afterward, I bragged about it to my parents a lot. In kindergarten, I transferred to Childpeace. I remember being very nervous when I first arrived in the classroom. Venus, my amazing guide, let me hold the class guinea pig, which made me feel a little better. I soon made lots of friends and got comfortable in the Childpeace environment. When I went into lower elementary, I was surprised and confused to find normal classrooms. I had a very weird, vivid memory that it was probably a dream, with Lower L being this giant pillow fort where we got to watch TV, read, eat cookies, and drink hot chocolate all day. True story, that's really great. That's not exactly what it was like, though I still enjoyed it. In Lower L, we had 3rd grade testing. The day of the test, I thought it was just another practice test, and I didn't realize it was the real thing until it was already over. In Lower L, my friends and I loved to write stories together, and I still love to write. I remember finding out about going into Upper L and being reunited with my Lower L and Children's House friends. I was so overjoyed, and I couldn't wait to hang out with all of them in Upper Elementary. When I started 4th grade, I was a little nervous, but mostly excited to have a fresh start in a new class and to meet a bunch of new people. The only thing I found challenging at the beginning of 4th grade was the fractions my previous assistant teacher, Kim, encouraged me to do. However, I'm glad I did those fractions because that extra push from Kim really helped me improve my math skills. Kim always pushed me to do better, and I'm so grateful for that. For the talent show that year, the 4th year girls did synchronized swimming, aka we danced, swam in front of a tarp that was supposed to be like water. This was an amazing experience because not only was it fun, but I also got a lot closer to the other 4th year girls and learned more collaboration skills. In 5th grade, my friends and I did many researches, and one of my favorites is about frozen yogurt. It may seem like a trivial choice, what with so much work to do, but we got to make our own froyo, which actually turned out okay. At the beginning of 6th grade, I started to think about a service project and what I could do to help the community. I decided to volunteer at Rosehaven, a day shelter and community center for women and children experiencing poverty, trauma, or mental or physical health challenges. Just a few weeks ago, I got to travel to Costa Rica for a week with my classmates. It was a truly magical experience, and I got to know some of my classmates a lot better during the trip. 6th grade has been pretty stressful, but also wonderful because it has taught me so much, including more organizational skills. My time at Childpeace has taught me so much, connected me with so many people, and changed my life for the better. For this amazing experience, I would like to thank my Children's House guide, Venus. Thank you so much for being such an incredible guide and for giving me a great start to my Childpeace career. You taught me so much, and I'm so thankful for all that you taught me. My Children's House assistant teacher, Amanda. Thank you for being such a helpful assistant. I remember you teaching me how to tie my shoes by singing a song about it. Whenever someone asked you a question, you would never get frustrated at them for not knowing it, and I love that about you. My Lower Elementary guide, Amy. Thank you for being such a fantastic guide and for supporting me so much. Thank you for always helping me when I didn't know how to do something, and for being such a kind and patient teacher. I truly wouldn't be anywhere near where I am today without you. My Lower Elementary assistant, Tommy. Thank you so much. You are one of my favorite teachers I've had, and I remember you were always working on an art project. Whenever I finished a math facts timing, you would draw something for me. I always loved it when you would draw me Harry Potter characters, and I wish that I could draw as well as you did. My Upper Elementary guide, Stephanie. Thank you for being such a truly amazing teacher. I learned so much from you, and you have influenced me a lot. I'm so unimaginably thankful for all that you've done for me. Being in your class has changed me for the better. My Upper Elementary assistant, Kim. I've already thanked you in this speech, but I really appreciate how you always push me to work harder and do better. I'm so sad that you left the school. My Upper Elementary assistant, Marina. Thank you endlessly for being so kind and helpful throughout the 2 years that you taught me. You've always been so supportive, and you have an amazing singing voice. My Upper Elementary assistant, Daniel. Though you were only my assistant for 1 year, I've learned so much from you. Thank you for being such an incredible teacher. My Upper Elementary Spanish teacher, Kati. Thank you for being such a wonderful teacher. You taught me so much over the 6 years that you taught me Spanish. My Upper Elementary friend, Harriet. Thank you so much, the sweetest, kindest, funniest soul. When I heard you were moving to California, I was beyond devastated. I love you endlessly, and I'm so grateful for all the amazing times and for all the laughs. I'd like to thank all my friends for always being so kind and supportive, and for being such great friends. I love you all so much, and I'm eternally grateful for all that you've done for me. I'd also like to thank my parents for enrolling me in this fantastic school and for driving me here every day and just for being so incredible and putting up with me for 12 years. I love you so much. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my speech. The end.
Hi, I'm Zuka, and I am too short. I have been at Childpeace for almost 11 years. In this time, I have learned so much. I started as a toddler. In toddler community, I loved to bake bread, almost as much as my mom loved to brag about it. All the time she would say, Zuka's been baking bread since she was a toddler. I want to thank Jennifer, who is my teacher in toddler community. She was the best, and I was always so excited to see her. I remember when I left toddler community, we sang Brown Squirrel, and I got to blow out a candle. In children's house, I still loved to bake bread. I would make sure my parents got me to school early so that I could get to bake bread that day. I got so good at baking that I taught others, but I wasn't always the best teacher. One time I was teaching Odette, and she wouldn't listen to me when I told her she had to sweep the table before sweeping the floor. I got so mad. In the end, I did what any good teacher would do and told on my student. Another time I was teaching a child how to bake bread with Claudia. I remember Claudia said that her way of whisking was the way the child's parents whisked. I was sure my way was right. Then we got in a huge argument. I don't remember how the argument ended, but I'm sure it got resolved. In children's house, I loved more than baking bread. I also loved sewing and map making. Oddly, my obsession with the pink tower came later. I'd like to thank Marin, who is the amazing teacher in the Pine Room. On my first day in Lower L, I was a little shy, but Amy and many students helped me feel welcome. Third grade was a big year for me. I had so much to finish. I have dyslexia, so I found challenges reading. I had a tutor from 1st to 5th grade. So when testing came along, I had some issues. Amy gathered all the third graders for a group practice test. The story meant to test reading comprehension was about a woodchuck named Wendy who fell out of her home during a storm. I thought it was about a girl named Wendy who fell out of her home during a storm next to a woodchuck, and that messed up the rest of the story for me. Don't worry, I worked hard and have gotten better at reading skills since then. I'd like to thank Amy and Tommy. They were the teachers in the junior room. Amy was always so kind and supportive, and Tommy was always working on a new craft. 4th grade was such a great year for me, mostly because of how close the 4th grade girls were. We did everything together, even the talent show. We created the Childpeace synchronized swimming team. 2 people held up a piece of blue fabric, and we pretended to swim. It was great. We had matching swim caps and everything. We performed at the talent show and learned a lot about working as a team. During 4th grade, Kim was our assistant guide. She was such a great teacher and always pushed me to do better. She helped me so much, especially with math. In 5th grade, I joined guitar. I was relieved to find that in my group, you didn't need to be advanced, because half of the group played the guitar, and the other half held guitars and sang. We loved singing so much that we formed a group called Singing Group. We would work on songs and present them every other week. Thank you to Marina and Harriet. They were here during 2 of my years in the Hawthorn room. Harriet is so sweet, funny, and strong, and Marina is a great assistant teacher. 6th grade was so great. We had a new assistant teacher, Daniel, and I want to thank him for helping me so much over this past year. I really enjoyed my service project. I chose the Children's Book Bank. They help children get books. Along with volunteering, Costa Rica was a big part of my year. I was so excited when I learned I got to teach the Pink Tower. I love the Pink Tower, and if I had one, I would use it all the time. Lastly, I would like to thank a few people. Stephanie for being such a wonderful teacher. Stephanie's taught me so much. Anne for helping me become a better reader. Rod for volunteering to teach us guitar. I'm so grateful for him. Katie, who definitely deserves the thanks for being the best Spanish teacher ever. My friends for helping me through so much and always being there for me, especially Nate and Olivia. Sabine, who has been my friend since first grade and is so generous and special. My family for helping and supporting me in all my time at Childpeace. And last but definitely not least, my cats Rico and Getty for being so kind and supportive. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Oliver. I just want to start this off by thanking a few people. First, I would like to thank my parents for giving me a chance to be able to have this amazing education and experience, and for putting up with my craziness as a young child. Thank you. Secondly, I would also like to thank all my teachers from the beginning through the present for supporting me and my goals and teaching me everything I know today. Thank you. Next, I would like to tell you about my experience here at Childpeace. It all started when I was 3. Really don't remember much from this time, apart from a few minor details, such as the time I decided to wear my brother's shoes and ended up in an emergency room with 5 stitches in my head. There were good things about my Children's House experience too, such as my amazing teachers, Teresa and Venus. Also, there's the work. I would make cars and trucks out of fraction pieces, or sentences out of plastic letters, or I'd write stories. Also, I remember creating towers and structures out of the brown stairs and towers. Then I moved up to lower elementary, where I got to know a whole new crew of friends and new class with new teachers, Claire and Andrea. Also, I got to my first camp, Camp Koala. One of the things I really remember from this was the incredible amount of rain. I also remember learning all about squids, and at the end of camp, we got to dissect one. Another one of my favorite activities at camp was going tide pooling. Then 2nd grade, we got to know our new assistant, Drew, and I got really good at making stuffed paper fish. I made at least 4 of these things. At the start of 3rd grade, I think I was pretty nervous, but as the year progressed, I discovered it was not as hard as some make it out to be. One of the main things I was nervous about was testing, but I learned it was a lot easier too. After this, I moved up to Upper L in the Hawthorn room with new teachers, Stephanie and Rainer. One of the differences about Upper L is that at the beginning of the year, we go to Camp Eagle Fern. This is a big difference between this camp and Lower L camps is the fact that this camp is less about academics and about having a good time, which I really liked. The next year was a time of transition and making new friends. And this year I formed some really good friendships and work partnerships. I also was able to experience the scientific method and do all the planned experiments with dangerous chemicals. Also, I made up my own experiments with dangerous chemicals, which is very fun. Then came what I thought was going to be the most challenging year yet, 6th grade. One of my biggest worries for this year was state standards. Another one of my worries was my service project, but this I quickly realized was not going to be as hard, this being aided by the fact that the nonprofit organization, the Northeast Emergency Food Program that I had picked, was really open to me helping out whenever I wanted. So this made it really easy for me to come whenever I wanted. Over the course of the year, I got a lot of work done. Highlights being making better friendships, helping to put on the Childpeace annual talent show with Ian and Tucker, organizing a food drive, making a miniature dog sled as a follow-up to Call of the Wild, making and launching a few rockets, and volunteering at my service project with a wide variety of people 6 times. All in all, I got a lot done this year. One of the things I was most excited for was our 6th grade trip to Costa Rica. I was especially excited for this because I had never been out of the country apart from the time I went to Canada. Costa Rica, we ziplined taught Montessori's lessons to children from the Humanitarian Foundation in La Carpio, participated in Spanish lessons every day for 2 hours, explored a beautiful waterfall garden, walked around a market and museum in San Jose, and sailed down the Turquoise River on a crocodile tour. It was overall an action-packed trip, and I learned a lot, such as a large amount of the history of Costa Rica, though there's a lot more to be learned, and I acquired better Spanish skills, and I learned how to make a traditional dish in the Costa Rican fashion. All in all, we were able to experience about as much of Costa Rica as you can in 1 week. Now I've come to the end of my Childpeace experience, and I will be disappointed to leave, and I will miss it very much. But I think this education has served me incredibly well, and I am so thankful for all the time I've spent here. Thank you to everyone who has made this education possible for me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Emily, and I've been at Childpeace for 11 years. I really like the Childpeace way of learning because of how free and independent our workspaces are, and you can work and touch on whatever you want. I definitely learned how to organize myself for the future and what it brings here at Childpeace. I started my journey here in toddler community. Toddler community was great. We had older children do activities with us. We would play dress up and basically wash everything. The best part was that we didn't even have to make our own lunches. Toddlers was very relaxing. I was really glad to be a liaison in 6th grade for toddlers. Then came Children's House. Children's House was all about making bread. That's all we did. Oh, it was make bread, or so I thought. If you weren't making bread, you were drinking all the sweet water from the sweet and bitter lesson. That was really yummy water. Then there was the sandpaper letters. Everyone loved showing off that they could say this word and they could write this letter, but I think I could say the best word. Mary was giving me a lesson on the sandpaper letters and asked me to give her a word that started with W. So I did. I said whiskey. That week she had a meeting with my parents and told them the story. The funny thing is that they didn't even drink whiskey or have it in the house. Then came the phase of making letters and inviting people over to your classroom. I loved making letters, so I gave one to Mary telling her what I thought of her. It said, "Dear Mary, why you be so mean? Love, Emily." Mary was such a great teacher and not mean. I remember she would always read books and sing lots of songs with us. Lower L was pretty excited. Everyone was set on finishing grammar boxes, getting time for kids, and a math book. Basically everything in the Redwood was a competition. I did everything with Amelia, like math, especially division. We were always proud of getting the first division lesson in 2nd grade. My teachers in Lower L were Eric and Denise. I remember that Eric was a really good artist and Denise liked to speak French. I'd like to thank Dana and Zorro who worked with me in 1st grade and a little bit of 2nd, but they left sadly. For 4th grade, I moved to a public school called Bridal Mile. Bridal Mile was an interesting change. Surprisingly, I was really excited to have desks and homework and have a bell ring when you get out of school. It seemed really fun, but though it wasn't in the middle of the year. Thankfully, my neighbor went to the school, so I had a friend. At Bridal Mile, we learned Mandarin. There was a school theme song, and we also learned it in Mandarin, but I don't remember any of it. Towards the end of the year, my parents asked me if I wanted to go back to Childpeace. I returned to Childpeace in 5th grade. There were new people and new systems, but I quickly got used to it. 5th grade was very interesting. That year, I was in a singing group. At first, it was a bit of a disaster. We were always fighting and arguing. We didn't sound half bad, but from the leader's perspective, it seemed really difficult to organize. On Fridays, we would always have presentations where we would sing the song we chose. And it was really well received by the class. 6th grade was quite an experience. There was NaNoWriMo, service project, state standards in Costa Rica. 6th grade was super cool. I wrote my NaNoWriMo about a girl and her mom who had powers and people were trying to capture them. Yet everyone kept saying they were superheroes. And I kept saying, superheroes help save the world, not hide from it. For my service project, I chose Project Lemonade. Project Lemonade was such a great experience. We sorted out clothes and helped a lot of people by organizing a drive. We got many donations and I'm so glad I chose Project Lemonade. And then Costa Rica. Costa Rica was so exciting. The highlights were ziplining, Latin dancing, cooking class. We helped a lot of children in La Carpio by teaching them Montessori lessons. We went on a crocodile tour and visited La Paz waterfall gardens. La Paz was muy tuanis, which is a Costa Rican expression for cool. We saw butterflies, sloths, monkeys, and all sorts of other animals, and of course waterfalls. For cooking class, we made arroz con pollo, which is rice and chicken. And in the dance class, we learned salsa. Thank you to my parents for first of all bringing me to the school and helping me with all my challenges, and my teachers, Annalyn, Marin, Sorrel, Dana, Denise, Eric, Stephanie, Marina, and Daniel for putting up with me and helping me throughout the years. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mead, and I have been at Childpeace for 9 years. Childpeace has really helped me with independence and learning how to balance freedoms and responsibilities. I started going to Childpeace when I was 3.5 years old in the Willow Room. Thank you to Venus and Teresa for being amazing guides. My favorite work was the pink tower. So one day I decided I was going to take it home. And obviously I couldn't fit all of it in my shoe, so I decided just on the tiniest piece. I stuck it in my shoe and took it home. And the next day I had to return it. Evelyn and I did everything together. There were only two two-person tables and we were always at one. We turned all the work choices into games. In my last year, I was invited to tour the Red Room. In first grade, in the Red Room, I was befriended by Erin. The first time we ever talked was while she was doing laundry. I asked if I could help and she said yes. Within 2 minutes, we were talking and laughing. I asked if she wanted to be best friends and she said yes. We did laundry together all the time. We also sometimes would go into the kitchen to pick up the laundry from the laundry room. When we went to get the laundry, I would always take the other class's laundry just so that we could return it, though I don't think she realized it was me filling our basket up with other class's laundry. Erin and I would do a lot of pin maps together. Our favorite pin map was the South America pin map. We had all of it memorized by heart. In 2nd grade, May and I did a lot of work together. We did picture of the day and we would play together. Denise came up with the idea that if you had good handwriting, they could get a pen. So everyone worked really hard to get a pen. When I got my pen, May was the first person I told. Eric, our assistant, was really nice. He was also an artist, so he made beautiful drawings for us if we did our math facts. For upper L, I was excited to be in the Hawthorn room. The Hawthorn room was the classroom I wanted to be in. In 5th grade, we started something called singing group. It was a disaster at first, but after a while we figured it out and we got better at organizing our meetings and figuring out what we had to get done. We performed every other Friday to the class. In 6th grade, I worked very hard on a lot of state standards with Claudia and Emmeline. Starting in 4th grade, we were told that Eagle Fern was where you could make new friends and connect with new people. And I never understood that until this year. In 6th grade, you play in Eagle Fern and 6th graders lead the cabins. Amalia, Eloisa, and I had a lot of fun leading a cabin and working on our brown bag skits together. For my service project, I chose CHAP. It was an incredible experience and I'm so glad that it worked out. I learned a lot from volunteering and being able to plan out what days work for volunteering and being responsible enough to remember that you need to reply to emails quickly. Costa Rica was a big part of 6th grade. We would spend around a month preparing for the lessons. We were going to present at the Humanitarian Foundation. My lesson was the puzzle map. In Costa Rica, I was in a hotel room with Tilly and Lily. We had a lot of fun together. Sabine's birthday was in Costa Rica, so many of us worked really hard on the decorations for her surprise party. We stayed up and woke up early so that we could make a lot of decorations. I've really enjoyed my experience at Childpeace and everything it has taught me, such as organization, presenting to a group, and collaboration. I would like to thank my parents and my Nana for supporting me and allowing me to go to Childpeace. I would like to thank all my amazing teachers like Teresa, Amanda, Venus, Sol, Dana, Denise, Eric, Stephanie, Marina, Kim, Daniel, Katie, and Rod. Without them, I wouldn't be the person I am today. I would also like to thank my friends for always being there for me.
A bit of final acknowledgement, Stephanie, and soon maybe Daniel. Would you be willing to come up and help us? So we'll have a moment to honor each graduate, and then they'll be up here at the front of the stage for some good photo opportunities afterwards. And there will be a few minutes. Our birch room ceremony needs to start right away at 10:30. We've got a lot of birch room graduates, so after we're done, please go ahead and take a moment with your student, but we're going to be moving along pretty quickly. So, all right, first up, Me Trust. Emily Long.
Oliver Fogarty. Lucas Carolino. Sydney Mercer. Bishop McCurlin.